Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is the first top 10 list on my channel and I hope you enjoy. This is a very unique video on my channel, a top 10 list, and it being about a video game. What's more unique is it's two top 10 lists, and I will talk about a bunch of other stuff I want and can think of for the games and future of the game series. I like my videos to be historic, so I'll try and talk as much into the future games as I can. It's SpiderMan PS4 and LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's start with SpiderMan PS4 because that's what most of you came for, but I encourage you to stay for the next part. So here's how I made my list for the top 10 villains I want in SpiderMan PS4. I made this list on how much I need, and how cool it would be for the villain to be in the first game. I viewed this game as start of a trilogy. So Kraven, Mysterio, and Lizard aren't on this list because I would prefer to see them for the first time in the sequel, and characters that have or basically are confirmed like Electro, Scorpion, Rhino, and Vulture aren't here either. And I'll be giving small thoughts on what the villains can and will do, so let's start with number 10. Alistair Smythe. A connection with Jameson in the game. Maybe Smythe isn't the ultimate Spider Slayer yet, and has the robot from Amazing Spider-Man issue 58 go after Spider-Man. But it would be one of or two stage side mission, like Deacon Blackfire in Arkham Knight, but it would expand the universe and give us more time with Jameson. Number 9, Manwolf. And maybe Manwolf dies at the end, causing Jameson to hate you even more. Heck, maybe Jameson dies in this game. It would be a boss fight to have on the side of a building, and Manwolf would be a reason to have more time to web swing at nighttime. He would be agile and fast, almost like fighting Black Cat. We've never seen Manwolf in media outside one episode of Spider-Man Unlimited, Ultimate Spider-Man, and now Marvel's Spider-Man. He's never been in a LEGO game. This is a great way to introduce Manwolf to people and have more nighttime sections. Number 8, Tarantula, a forgotten Spider-Man rogue. I would like to see him working for another villain like Echo to the Kingpin. He could work for Green Goblin or maybe Osborn's bodyguard. I think he would be fast. I would like to see him. Maybe he is a villain you've already captured and he's just in jail. You can speak to him if you'd like. I'd be fine with that, but I'd rather have a boss fight. Who knows? Maybe Tarantula could be an alternate skin for Spider-Man. 7 is Chameleon, once again working for someone else, again probably for Osborn, but later we would see Chameleon and Kraven team up in some way because they're stepbrothers. I would like Chameleon to be in the animated series uniform, but no ties to the shield. You would have to use your spider sense to find him in a crowd. Number 6 is Tombstone, the main villain to try and rise up against Kingpin more than Mr. Negative. He would be like from the Spectacular Spider-Man series. You wouldn't exactly fight him either, but stop all of his henchmen from committing crimes. Number 5 is Morbius, another nighttime battle, and I can see this one going over the city and being a standout boss fight. He would actually try to suck Spidey's blood and attack innocents. Spider-Man's webbing would be upgraded and help to stop Morbius. Electrified webbing and impact webbing, and Morbius would be cured at the end, kind of like Man-Bat in Arkham Knight. Number 4, Grizzly. Out of all the forgotten Spider-Man rogues, this is the one everyone wants the most. If anything, Spider-Man will stop Grizzly from a bank robbery. It will be feeling like a classic old day battle, but I would like Grizzly to be giant. It would be a one-stage fight outside the bank in the street. If I wanted more, I would have Luke Cage and Daredevil fight with him, even though he doesn't need the help. Then they'll all be joking around on how lame Grizzly is, how dumb he is, and etc. And deeper than that, I would have Grizzly return in the next two games and get stronger and smarter and a bit better of a villain than before. Number 3 is Sandman. He is a classic Spider-Man foe, as classic as Mysterio, Vulture, and Electro. Sandman would have such a creative boss battle, and it would be a mission about him going after someone who is more evil or villain than him. Or maybe he's mind controlled or someone like the Green Goblin did it. Or he would be a hero, more on that one later. Number 2 is Hobgoblin, and I first said that maybe Hobgoblin is the real main villain of the game, but if he isn't an introduction to him would be great. Have him trying to take over the Kingpin's empire. If classic Hobgoblin is in the game, then if they have Ultimate Green Goblin, I would be set. He would be a lot like the animated series Hobgoblin. He would be a side mission. Maybe he gives a hint into the next game like Calendar Man did when he's in jail. Hopefully in this game, after you lock up all the villains, you can talk to them afterwards like in Arkham Knight. And number one is Hydro Man, the number one villain to have in the game. I think he will be revealed at E3. They will show part of his boss fight, and at the end, see Spider-Man look up at a giant growing shadow that we see at the last second, it being Sandman. In the game, have Sandman fight Hydro Man as giants, and Spider-Man saves and protects people on the boats and on the beach. Maybe this is the part of the story, and Osborn does something that guarantees his spot as mayor. I also think the trophies of Spider-Man and Hydro Man in the collector's edition is during that scene. We've never had a Hydro Man in a Spider-Man game before, not even a Lego game. This would be groundbreaking. They could also do what they wanted with Hydro Man, any motivation, any history he's had with Spider-Man, since he hasn't appeared in media much outside the 90s show. This is also where you put Peter Parker's science skills to work, with him trying to freeze Hydro Man, like Clayface in Arkham City. So it is very unique and different, but if these are the ones previously were mentioned, and if Kraven, Mysterio, and Lizard were in the game, best superhero video game made already. I didn't put in Venom or Carnage or Toxin or Anti-Venom or Hybrid because I would make them think that that's what the next game will be all about, and seeing a symbiote Lizard and Kraven, and imagine a symbiote Mysterio, breathtaking and a little bit scary like Arkham Asylum, like a symbiote Lizard. Also, since Hammerhead wouldn't be in the first game, this game he would return, and return as an old foe of Spidey's. Maybe even the Enforcers would be with him. Doc Ock wasn't here, because the finale should be, drumroll please, you ready for the best idea ever? Here it is, the final game in the trilogy, the Sinister Six versus the Sinister Syndicate. I know, that game would have at least 11 supervillain battles, crime rising on the side, and maybe the Kingpin will return and make a profit or play this Carnage into his old hand. I would make the main character from the last game, like Carnage, start the madness. Before he dies, I would like to have Carnage die in the last game. In the second game. The Sinister Six would have Doc Ock, Mysterio, Electro, Kraven, Scorpion, and Shocker. The Sinister Syndicate would have the first appearance of Beetle, Boomerang, and the return of Rhino, Speed Demon from the second game, and Hydro Man from the first game, and Hammerhead would return from the second game and maybe manipulate some things here, like from episode 23 in a Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. If we're going crazy, then the next game, number 4, should try and do the Jackal and have one clone, the best clone, Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, and play a Scarlet Spider in a brand new created by Insomniac suit, and fight Leapfrog, Stiltman, Spot, and other D to Z list rogues. And maybe in the 5th game, Hobgoblin, New Goblin, Green Goblin, Jack-O-Lantern, Menace, and Demogoblin in a giant Goblin War with the return of Eddie Brock Venom, and Jack-O-Lantern would have been in the second game and had the symbiote for a while. A Goblin War, you could play as the Goblins also. How cool would that be? For number 6, a giant Spider-Verse game. That's like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions 2. Maybe they'll write it so Amazing Spider-Man is the Spider-Man in SpiderMan PS4. Just Shattered Dimensions 2 is over 10 years later. Or maybe Peter Parker retires in the 4th game and returns in the 5th game to stop Norman Osborn one last time, and returns at the start of this game. So please comment your thoughts on my list down below. Okay, saying this, I should be writing the video games, and just wait until you hear my thoughts for LEGO DC Supervillains. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm more hyped for this game than Spider-Man. LEGO DC Supervillains is based on the Forever Evil storyline from the comics. Villains that have appeared before won't be here. I would have put Clayface as number 1, because I can't believe he is the only one who was in LEGO Batman 1, who wasn't in LEGO Batman 3, but I assume he and all 17 other villains who were in the first LEGO Batman game will be in this one. Also, characters that are so obvious going to be in this game one way or another won't be here. Like, no Jay Garrick, even though he's not a supervillain, no Zoom or Damien Dark, and of course no Vandal Savage on this list. And also no alternate skins. No Wally West Rebirth if he was a villain, or Deathstroke with super speed, or Tom Hardy Big Fig Bang from the LEGO Batman movie, or 1966 Mr. Freeze, or Big Figure Man-Bat, or 1966 Clock King, Giant Clayfish from the LEGO Batman movie. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, so hopefully all those characters will be in the game. With that said, on with the list. Number 10 is Kronos, the Atom's greatest enemy. The Atom should be in this game, and since no Atom villains were in LEGO Batman 3, his greatest enemy would make sense to introduce here. I would be surprised if he was in a level. I would love to see his time manipulation, and I hope his suit looks like this one on screen. 9 is Ventriloquist in Scarface, a Batman villain that would be as unique as MODOK in LEGO Marvel. Imagine playing as the ventriloquist but fighting with the puppet Scarface. I just think it would be really cool to finally see a LEGO form of him. And what better than LEGO DC Supervillains game, where the villains all run rampant. Ventriloquist, the second one, the girl, did have her own standalone issue during Forever Evil, so having her as an alternate skin would be pretty sweet too. 8 is Mongol. He is one of Superman and Green Lantern's greatest enemies, and a foe of the Justice League. In the open map, maybe you can fight on Battle World, like the Grandmaster's fights in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. Mongol replacing him would be amazing. Mongol would look so cool, and since he was in LEGO Batman 3 that was all about space, it would be a little weird if he wasn't in here. Not even DLC, and he wasn't even DLC in the last game like Darkseid. This game would be genius to have him in. Number 7, Professor Pig. I know he's rated an M character, especially because he first appeared in, come on, Batman issue 666, but I would play him as more of a funny kids character. Instead of throwing knives, it's pigs, and give him his own vehicle, like the Pigmobile and Pigcopter. Everyone would be amazed if Pig's in the game. Maybe they could have his circus in the open world, or a mini level. I would give him the ability to dig also, and the smart level to do panels like Lex Luthor. 6 is Atomic Skull, another Superman rogue. He is a cooler character than people know. I reviewed his first appearance on my channel. This would be a great way to promote him. Maybe he could grow into a big fig. Top 5 is here, and number 5 is Ares. He was the main villain in Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the first superhero we've had confirmed to have in this game. He's never been in a LEGO game before, and I hope we don't just get Cheetah as a Wonder Woman foe in the game again. Cheetah is confirmed, but it would be so sweet to get another one. Another Wonder Woman villain. Ares could have the ability to fly, but if he doesn't, I don't think I will bother anyone. His sword will have the same effect as the third Black Knight did in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. It could even see Ares as a boss in one of the earlier levels. Maybe you, as your custom character, fight him. 4, Godspeed. He is probably also in the game, but having Savitar in the TV DLC pack would be sweet too. Godspeed would be the fastest minifigure in the game, but if it was Savitar, he would be the first and so far only big figure to have super speed. That would be so cool. He would be like Giganta in LEGO Batman 3, a character with the cool power that only one minifig has so far. But for the game, Godspeed would be perfect. I would think to get him just as a character token after doing a mission or a puzzle in the open world, maybe the bridge between Keystone and Metropolis, if the game is structured like that. 3 is Trigon, like Searcher from LEGO Marvel 2, but he would be giant as Searcher was in the level. He would also hopefully be able to move fast and shoot fire. He would be probably maybe even as big as Fing Fang Foom from LEGO Marvel 2. He is definitely a character we want on this LEGO game. Number 2, Anti-Monitor, the most expensive character to buy in the game probably, and the tallest, strongest ever in a LEGO game. He would be invincible, able to do telekinesis and teleport, super strength, but he wouldn't even have to grab the handles. He'd be super tall, taller than even Fing Fang Foom. You get him about 80% through the game, so you could play and use him in the open world where there's still things to do, but not so early that you forget to do much else after you get him. He would definitely be better than Darkseid, and maybe in the game, go to Darkseid's planet Apocalypse. Imagine being on Apocalypse as Anti-Monitor, or maybe in the final mini level you unlock in the game and you fight Darkseid as him, like the comic The Darkseid War. And number 1, Mirror Master. Maybe it is so obvious he's in the game. This is cheating, but not at the moment. He is in the Flash's most powerful rogue, and he can do unique things like travel through mirrors in free play, back in level, or glide, or shoot mirror light, even glow, or grow really tall like an illusion. It would be the first one, Sam Scudder Mirror Master, and he would be better than Weather Wizard or Golden Glider with Captain Cold and Heatwave, who, come on, are obviously going to be in it. It would be sweet to see him. Once again, if these characters were shown at E3, I'd buy 2 copies, one for me and one for a friend, because everyone would have to play this game. Having talent from the Court of Owls, Chemo, Amazo, Tarpus, Akata, and more, there's still room for them if they're not in the main game for DLC. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this little different video on my channel. This video should still be important since it will be a long time until the third Spider-Man game, and until we get all those characters in LEGO form. I won't delete this video because it will be fun to look back at what I guessed, what we guessed in the comments, and what actually happened. Please like and subscribe. Bye guys, and have a good day. Can't start a flame if I never know your name. Take it, fight it, light it up, ignite it, harder and higher till the world is on fire.